Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. This is Teacher Teds and today ay pag-uusapan natin ang 4 pillars of learning. Kasama ito sa ating tinatawag na Let's Review series para sa inyong pag-review tungkol sa Licensure Examination for Teachers. By the way, kung bago ka sa channel na to, please like this video and consider subscribing to my channel. So in this video guys, we will talk about the 4 pillars of learning in the 21st century. But before we proceed to our discussion, let me first give to you a short description bakit natin kailangang pag-aralan ang 4 pillars of learning in the 21st century. So it has been said that a desire to learn continuously through one's lifetime is a mark of a 21st century learner. According to the International Commission of Education for the 21st Century to UNESCO, headed by Jacques Delors, identified learning throughout life as a key to meet the challenges of the 21st century. So bakit ba natin kailangang magkaroon ng necessary skills for the 21st century? So, the main goal of these 4 pillars of learning is for us to learn how to learn. Sa madaling salita, learning how to learn. Ang learning how to learn ay necessary skill to cope with the rapid changes and challenges of the present and the future. This will help us to become a lifelong learning. Ano nga ba itong lifelong learning? Lifelong learning is a philosophy that involves the development of knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values throughout one's life from early childhood through adulthood. So kaya siya tinatawag na lifelong learning, ibig sabihin, learning doesn't stop. Hindi lang tayo natututo sa loob ng classroom but we learn from everything and everyone. Now, I will give you first the overview of the 4 pillars of learning. The first one is the learning to know. The second one is learning to live together. The third one is learning to do. And the last one is the learning to be. So, kung titignan natin, halos magkakaparehas lang siya. It's just learning, but later on, i-describe ko sa inyo at pag-uusapan natin ano ba yung pinagkakaiba-iba ng 4 na pillars na to pagdating sa learning. So, are you ready? Let's start with learning to know. So, ang learning to know involves the acquisition and development of knowledge and skills that are needed to function in the world. Example of skills under this pillar of learning include literacy, numeracy, and critical thinking. Tandaan nyo ang 3 importanteng bagay na napapaloob sa learning to know. Again, ito yung literacy, numeracy, and critical thinking. So later on, bibigyan ko kayo ng iba't ibang descriptions na mas detailed pa sa iba't ibang pillars na to. Let's proceed to learning to live together. Learning to live together involves the development of social skills and values such as respect and concern for others, social and interpersonal skills, and an appreciation of diversity among people. These skills would enable individuals and societies to live in peace and harmony. So, ang importanteng keyword sa learning to live together is individuals and societies can live in peace and with harmony sa isang society. So, kaya siya tinawag na learning to live together. Now, let's proceed to learning to do. Ang learning to do, guys, ay nag-i-involve of the acquisition of skills that would enable individuals to effectively participate in the global economy and society. These skills are often linked to occupational success, such as vocational and technical skills, apprenticeship, and leadership and management competencies. Ang sinasabi namang ng learning to do, ito ay may kinalaman sa ating mga skills and leadership and management competencies. More or less, ang tinutukoy ng learning to do ay yung ating trabaho or yung ating ginagawa. So if we want to succeed in life, kailangan na meron tayong skill pagdating sa learning to do. Or we should take note that learning to do deals with acquisition of skills that will enable us to become effectively participate in the global economy. The last pillar of learning is the learning to be. So learning to be involves activities that promote holistic personal development. Napapaloob dito yung body, mind, and spirit for an all-around complete person. So sinasabi dito yung holistic development ng isang tao ay napapaloob sa learning to be. An example under this pillar is a teacher who participates in training workshops that will enhance his or her knowledge and skills in the teaching or learning process. So pag sinabing learning to be, we have the eagerness to learn more. So for us teachers, kailangan natin mag-attend or mag-participate sa iba't ibang training and workshop for us to become fully developed. Now, let's go to the descriptions for each 4 pillars. Ito ay ibinigay ni Zoo noong 2016. So, yung mga descriptions na ibibigay ko sa inyo ay yung magbibigay ng breakdown ng definitions or descriptions ng 4 pillars of learning. Let's go to the first one, learning to know. So, ilalagyan ko ng underline yung mga importanteng keywords para mas madali nyong matandaan kung ano ba yung dapat tandaan sa bawat pillars of learning na to. So, learning to know. Mastering the skills and strategies of knowing and understanding. Take note, naka-highlight yung knowing and understanding. It also tackles learning to learn and discover. Understanding about one's environment and thinking in a coherent and critical way. In short, sa learning to know, yung critical thinking natin ay importante. Another is acquiring a knowledge of the scientific method and instrument. It also deals with developing a scientific spirit and inquiring mind. Another one is acquiring independence of judgment. So, kapag may judgment, ibig sabihin pinapagana rin natin yung ating critical thinking and yung understanding sa isang bagay. So that's all for learning to know. Now, let's go to learning to live together. Learning to live together, napapaloob dito yung discovering others kasi siya ay magpo-promote ng unity and harmony among the society. Appreciating the diversity of human race. Yung diversity ay naka-highlight din dyan. And being receptive to others and open to ideas during dialogues and debates. So let's proceed. Caring and sharing ay napapaloob din sa learning to live together. Working toward common objectives in cooperative undertakings and managing and resolving conflicts. So, importante ito when we manage and try to resolve conflicts. Ito ay napapaloob sa learning to live together. Let's proceed to the third pillar of learning. So, this one is learning to do. Learning to do deals with shifting from skill and practical know-how to competence. It also deals with applying in practice what has been learned and developing the ability to transform knowledge into job creation. So remember guys, when we say about learning to do, it really focuses on the technical skills, vocational skills, at napapaloob dito yung mga bagay na ginagawa natin at yung mga bagay na may kinalaman sa ating trabaho. Another thing that we need to remember sa learning to do ay yung developing competence, a mix of higher skills, of social behavior, of an aptitude for teamwork and initiative, readiness to take risk. So when we say aptitude, it is the necessary skill to perform a task or a job. And it also talks about acquiring new types of skills, more behavioral than intellectual. When we say more behavioral than intellectual, it really focuses on the way how we do it rather than the use of mind. It more on the attitudes that we put into our work. Another important thing that we need to remember when we say learning to do is learning that is no longer limited to work but responds to participation in development. And another is communicating, working with others, and managing and resolving conflicts. So medyo may kinalaman to sa learning to live together, but this one is work related. And now let's proceed to learning to be. So when we say learning to be, it deals with developing the mind and body, intelligence, sensitivity, aesthetic sense, personal responsibility, and spiritual values. So when we look at the keywords na may underline, ito yung sinasabi nating holistic dapat yung development ng isang individual. So pag holistic, remember guys, ito ay learning to be. It also deals with nurturing imagination and creativity. So kapag sinabi nating imagination and creativity, it is something that we want to achieve in life. And another thing that we need to remember pagdating sa learning to be ay yung being complete in oneself, in all the richness of one's personality. So learning to be, kailangan being complete sa iyong pagkatao at pagkayaman ng iyong personalidad. And the last one that you need to remember about learning to be is the developing of one's full potentials and tapping the hidden treasure within oneself. So ito yung mga bagay na meron tayo, yung mga potentials natin at gusto nating i-enrich at palaguin pa. So that's all for learning to be. Now, for the last thing that I want you to remember is that once you have developed this in yourself, you can help equip your students so that they will also be prepared for the 21st century and beyond. So guys, that's all for today's discussion about the 4 pillars of learning in the 21st century. I hope nakatulong tong video na to sa inyo. If you have questions, just comment down below and I will be happy to answer your question. And please also support me in my video by liking this video and by subscribing to my channel. Once again, this is Teacher Teds and good luck to your LET exam. Bye-bye.